Hello and welcome, guys. This is Nauglir here, and you are watching Simply Walking into Mordor, episode number 3. We are picking up right where we left off last episode, here in Celondim. Just finished the introduction and ready to go out into the world. We've cleaned up our inventory. All we've got to do is a couple more things around town. But as we do that, we're going to start picking up some quests. Alright, so the first man we're going to talk to is this fine elf here, Cardifor. He has a shining gold ring on his head. That means he's got a quest for us. This is a special ring, and I'll show you the difference between the two. If you look over here, Lane in the Glade Watcher, it's a bit hard to see, but he's got a ring on his head as well. It shimmers with a blue light, and Cardivor's shimmers with a gold light. Cardivor's quest is an epic quest. See how it says prologue, unlike Avathor. It is a prologue quest. And he's asking us to spare a moment of our time to go and speak to Athal at the elf camp near Nauglir. Because Avathal has gone missing, and that is unfortunate. So, we're going to go look for him, and that is our story quest there for us. We've already got a quest to complete, outfitting yourself and others. That's going to set us up for crafting in the game. Now we should pick up this quest from Lane in the Glade Watcher. In defense of the forest.
Sweet lad Melon, will you stay a moment?
So he is in charge of preserving the land, and he's asking us to defeat some Veilflies who are surrounding Celondim and defiling the forest. So we are going to defeat them for him. Now, looks like there is a quest down here for us as well. We can see on our minimap there's a ring icon. She's got an epic quest for us as well. I think this might be to go talk to Cardifor.
Will you
yes.
stay a moment?
So we should have got this quest first. That's alright. We hit Cardifor before we did. We can just finish this one off now. Now on our screen, we've got our alerts notification here down in the bottom right. We can see that we have some alerts. So we've been awarded a title. That was from all of our unlocks in our inventory from character creation. We have some deeds that have been bestowed, again, just from the unlocks. This is our deed log here. There's heaps of different tabs for all the different deeds. Deeds are kind of like achievements or tasks that you have to do, and they unlock rewards at the end. And we've completed a couple of deeds as well. Great. And the last and most important one is that we have some mail. We've got some mail from the Coombe stable hand, and so we're going to detach that item. He's asking us to help him with a horse that's in Coombe, which is a town of men, quite a fair way away from here, but we'll accept the quest anyway, and we might get around to it later. So, Cardifor. Should have talked to you before. Hello. Introductions to Cardifor. We are level 5, almost up to level 6. This is our experience bar down here. And we are 480 out of 593. Not very much experience to go. Now, what's next? We are going to talk to this milestone. Now, milestones in the game are pretty much return home skills. We've got this skill here called return home, and we're going to bind it to a milestone. We can find a milestone anywhere in the world, bind it to our milestone skills, and then we can return there every hour. And of course, you can upgrade those in the store to cool down faster. This is our champion trainer. These guys have become fairly useless in the game, as skills are automatically bestowed to you. Now, on the topic of skills, while we're running to our next location, I might just talk about our skills that we've got. We have 4 skills that we can use in combat at the moment. We have Wild Attack, which I've got in my first slot. This is just a single powerful melee attack. You can see on the tooltip there, it's got a description of what it does. It's a melee skill, it has 2.5 meter range, and it's harmful, and it's a strike skill, which is important later on. We can see that it does 4 to 5 common damage, and it's based off our main hand weapon. It costs 5 power, which is our blue bar up here. We have 250 of it, so not very much power. And it adds 1 to fervor. If you remember, I think 2 episodes ago I explained the fervor bar. As a champion, we build up fervor, and then we use it on our more powerful skills. So this one builds up 1 fervor. It's not a very powerful skill, but it does give us some fervor, which is helpful. And it's got a cooldown of 1.8 seconds. Our second one is Swift Strike. Again, adds 1 to fervor and does about the same damage as Wild Attack, although this skill hits much quicker. So that's good. That's why it costs a bit more and has a bit of a longer cooldown. It also adds 1 to fervor. Blade Wall. This doesn't add anything to fervor or cost any fervor, but it is a multiple target hit, which is very handy. So this one will do 8 to 9 common damage based off our main hand weapon again to 5 targets in front of us for a range of 5 meters. So that's quite a helpful skill when we're fighting more than one enemy. And finally, we have Savage Strikes. This is a double attack, so that's quite good. It costs 10 power, but it costs 2 fervor more importantly. So we're going to have to build up some fervor using Wild Attack and Swift Strike, and then using it on Savage Strikes to hit our enemy twice. Alrighty. This guy's got a quest for us. Another new quest ring. This quest ring has an anvil in it, which means that it's a crafting quest. So we're going to take it. This guy is going to ask us to talk to Gweloth, who is in charge of crafting here in Celondim. Now, we're going to take the scenic route around to the crafting terrace, because we are going to walk up to this terrace up here, up these beautiful steps. And this is where all the traders are in the town. There's also another quest here from Thinglair.
You may be of service to me.
And he's getting us to defeat some foul creatures in Thumgelia, which is a ruin. Now, you can see that quests have a quest level. This one's quest level 8, and a type, which is solo, which means we can do it on our own fairly easily. The color of the quest name changes depending on quest level compared to our level. So my level's level 5, and the quest level is level 8. So it's showing us that it's orange, which is a bit more difficult than we can handle at the moment. So we're going to wait a bit to do that quest. While we're up here, we might as well talk to this kind boa. Edenethil. There we go. Now these vendors with green little icons above their head, they can do 4 things for us. We can repair our equipment at them for a small cost. We can buy things from them, depending on what they're selling, we can buy them. We're very unlikely to do much of that. We can sell things to them, which is quite helpful, obviously, as it will let us clear out our messy inventory. And we can buy back in case we accidentally sell something. Now, we're going to lock some things so we don't accidentally sell them, because we don't want to sell the things we're planning to use. I'm just locking up some of these more important things, and then we can sell the rest. So we can just click sell all, and that's all gone. We gained 5 silver pieces and 95 copper pieces for our troubles, and that is going to be very helpful. We have 9 silver pieces and 45 copper at the moment. You can always see that at the top here. 100 coppers to a silver and 1,000 silver to a gold. That's pretty much how it goes. So we noticed that we didn't actually get rid of everything in our inventory that we wanted to get rid of. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to destroy these excess items, and that will get them out of our way. For now I'm just going to sort the inventory for us, and that gets us all in a nice, neat row down the bottom. All right. Now, we are missing something on our quick bar, which is a mount. We've got all these mounts here, which come from various unlocks throughout my time playing the game. At the moment, we're going to ride the steed of the Alliance of the Third Age, which is the one that's going to fit with my outfit. There we go. Looking fine and dandy on our horse. High Elves ride horses differently to all the other races. They're quite graceful in the way they ride. And they also call horses differently. If you heard that whistle, that's different to the other races, and it's a new addition to the game. Alright, we're just riding up here to the crafting terrace, where we can speak to the people that we have quests for. So, Gweloth. See that crafting quest ring above her head? We can talk to her. Yes, we were sent to you, and we are interested in learning a crafting trade, so we're going to finish that. Oh, wonderful. We got some experience for finishing that quest, and we've leveled up to level 6. So, every time we level up, we're going to check, have we got a new skill? And we do indeed. We've got Champion's Challenge. Now, this is a force attack skill. It's going to force an enemy to attack me, and only me, for at least 5 seconds. So I'm going to chuck that up here. We're not going to use it as much in combat, because we'll be mostly working alone. but in groups it can be quite useful. Now, Golfedenier, he also has a quest for us to complete. Outfitting ourselves and others. Yes, we are ready to learn a craft. Now, during this playthrough, guys, I'm not going to focus on crafting that much. I do have gilded crafters in all of the guilds, so I don't need it personally. But also, it just takes a while. It's just sitting in front of a workbench, doing the same thing over and over again. So I might just do a tutorial on it or an explanation video on how crafting works in this game. But for our character, I'm not going to actually develop the crafting skill. I'm still going to pick one, but I'm not going to develop it. Now, we are a champion. So we use metal weapons, obviously, and also metal armor. So I might use the armorer craft vocation, which is going to let us create metal armor for us to use. Be quite useful for us. The armsman is also a good opportunity. Lets us be the weaponsmith, which is metal weapons, prospector, which lets us collect metal, and woodworker, which makes wooden weapons. That could also be useful, as we're going to be using a bow later on as well. But I think we'll just go for the armorer craft vocation. So we're going to learn that. Excuse me there. And I might just explain crafting now, since we have these introduction quests.
You may be of service to me.
To do it. Okay. Here we go. So, we're getting 3 different introduction quests, and that is because for each craft you have 3 vocations. This is the crafting panel, accessed by the letter T. We have the metalsmith, the prospector, and the tailor. Now, by and large, most craft vocations will have 2 creation professions, if you like, and 1 collector profession. So, collector professions will go out into the world and collect various resources, such as the prospector. We can collect metal from the ground and mine various ore nodes and use it then to smelt into ingots. That's what the prospector does. And these 2 are going to create different types of armor. So the metalsmith creates metal armor, if we can see here, makes some bronze armor, and while the tailor is going to make leather armor, light and medium armor. So if we were to make ourselves some equipment, I would be using the metalsmith, since we use heavy armor. This is minimum level 7, so we can't use it at the moment, but we would be doing it like that. So we're going to learn how to do each of these things. So first of all, the tailor. Introduction to tailoring. Hello, what's your name? Canis Gam. There we go. Continue quest. He's given us a crate, and with this crate is going to come some resources that we can use to create a rough cloth cloak. From the tailor, we're going to go to cloaks, find the rough cloth cloak recipe, and we need to equip our tailor's tools to do it. This goes in our craft slot of our character sheet, and we're going to create our rough cloth cloak. We've found our tailor tools, we've equipped them, and we're standing next to a workbench, which, as you can see, is right here. The workbench is right here. We just need to stand next to it, and we can make our cloak. Table is going to miraculously appear out of nowhere, and we are going to stitch together this cloak. And there we go, we've made it. Now, we're going to show Canis Gam our work. And there we go, load it up.
For you?
Wonderful. We have finished the quest. We can keep that cloak now if we'd like, and continue on our way. Now, here's the metalsmith. Before I do the metalsmith, actually, I'm going to talk to the supplier, because he's going to give us our prospecting quest. Introduction to prospecting. Continue. He also gives us a crate, as will the metalsmith. So here we are, introduction to metalsmithy, and we've got 2 crates now that we can use to get some resources to complete these quests. Alright. So firstly, using the ingredients you have, forge a bronze helm. We're going to go to our metalsmith tab, find the bronze helm. We need to equip our smithing hammer, and we will make our bronze ingots. We will use our bronze ingots, from the crate to make our bronze helm. Notice that some craft recipes have different outputs that we can make. That will change the stats that are on the helmet. Won't change the armor, just the other stats. But we need to complete the quest, so we're going to use the bronze helm recipe. There we go, smithing it. Get out an hammer and anvil. Do a little flip, and oh, you finished before you even hit the metal. Good work. We've finished that. We can complete this quest. Finish now. Okay, last one. Using the ingredients you received, craft a copper ingot. Here we go. Copper ingot 1, and we need our prospector's tools for this one. Here we go. We've got chunks of copper ore from the crate, and we're going to use them to make a copper ingot. There we go. So we'll make that. Again, do a nice flip with your hammer, and finish before you hit the metal. Well done. All right, we're going to take this back to the supplier. Aglilin, and we are almost ready to go. Finish now. Great. Okay, we've got ourselves some more alerts. We've got a title, Student of Metalwork. That is a nice title. I'm going to stick with just the name Nauglir at the moment. And we have our class vocation deed completed. Well done. All right. Now, this alert is notifying us that we need a specialization. These are all handy things to have before we leave town to go start our adventure. So what we're going to do, we're going to explore the trait tree. I'm just walking up to the vault while we're looking at this screen. Okay, so here we have our trait tree panel. This is going to customize the way that our class performs in the game. So each of these specializations have a bunch of traits behind them. We have 2 different builds that we can have going concurrently, and so we can choose 2 of these specializations to use and switch between them easily. I'll explain each of them quickly, and then we will go into it without further ado. So the Martial Champion. It's a damage-soaking tank that prefers offense over defense. So this is the tank build for the champion class. This is less commonly used from people, but you see it has some bonuses here. I won't explain them that much. That let champions tank effectively, but most people in the end game will not accept a champion as a tank, as they're much more useful in these 2 trees. Alright, the red tree, the Berserker, deals single target crit-based melee damage. So, the Berserker, the red line, we're going to deal bursts of single target high damage, relying on a high crit chance to do huge damage strikes. So this is going to focus us with 1 target enemies. This is helpful when we're soloing on landscape especially, because we might not be fighting multiple enemies at once that often, but it is not where the champion comes into its own. That is in the Deadly Storm. Deals whirling AoE destruction upon foes. AoE, or area of effect, lets us attack multiple enemies, sometimes up to 13, I think, using these blade skills to hit them all at once from all around us and doing massive damage to lots of different enemies. This is where the champion comes into its own, and this is what we're going to be having fun with a lot of the time. So, for now, we're going to use 1 of our builds for the Berserker and 1 for the Deadly Storm. Let's use Spec 1, Trait Tree 1, for the Deadly Storm. Now, once we've specialized, we can see, actually I might just show you what we get. Once we specialize, we see that we get 2 skills if we specialize in this tree. We get Blade Storm, which is a full AoE attack, going all the way around us for 5 targets, doing a lot of damage, costing 4 fervor, which is quite a lot of fervor, but it is a very powerful skill. So we'll be using that a lot. And Rend also is quite useful. It is going to deal a bleed to the enemies and also reduce their armor value to 5 targets all the way around us. Not only that, but it adds 2 to fervor. So we're going to be using this skill quite a lot to get us up to the 4 fervor that we need to use Blade Storm. Other than that, we have a passive bonus called Flurry, which says blade skills have a 30% chance to grant minus 20% attack duration for 20 seconds. That will let us attack faster, which lets us do more damage. Alright, Specialization 3, here we go. Now, what's the bonus of specializing in one of these 3 specializations? Well, aside from the skills and passive bonus that we get access to these traits here. These all have different bonuses, and as we level up and complete deeds, we will get more trait points that we can put into these. Now, the catch is, anything in this yellow tree, because we've specialized in yellow, will only cost 1 point. Everything else will cost 2. And so, it's much cheaper and more beneficial to get into the yellow tree than it is the other 2. aside from that, these ones will benefit our AoE damage skills rather than other things which are in these trees. So we're going to be focusing on the yellow tree. As well as this, so many bonuses to specialization. We get, every 5 points we spend, we get another passive bonus from our specialization. And these get better and better. We'll explain them all as we encounter them. For now, we're just going to remain in the Deadly Storm. I'm going to rename this AoE. So we can be reminded that that is our trait tree of choice. And this is single target. Oh, we might just go single. There we go. But right now, we are going to... Well, let me just see what we get. We get Remorseless Strike, which is a massive one-target hit. And that will cost 4 fervor, just like Blade Storm. And Devastating Strike, which is another big hit, increasing the amount of damage enemies take. And adds 2 to fervor, just like Rend. Right. So we're going to use the Berserker stance most of the time for now. Just for the time being, because we're not going to be fighting lots of enemies at once. Alrighty here. Let's organize our skills a bit better. We've got Devastating Strike here, which adds 2 to fervor, and Remorseless Strike here, which costs 4 fervor, but is a big hit. Let's quickly talk to our Vault Keeper. Vault's just a safe place where you can keep items that you don't want to carry around. We're going to keep our crystals in there. We're going to keep our relics in there. We're also going to keep our Essence Reclamation Scrolls in there. But aside from that, we're looking pretty good. We've also reached level 6, so we can open this box. It's got some more useless things in it, but, you know, we'll take them. Alright, we've got a box for level 7, so when we hit level 7, we can open that. Alrighty. We're almost coming up to time for this episode, but I say let's go out and let's kill some enemies. We've spent all the time working on getting ready to go, and it would be a shame if we didn't get to go in this episode. So let's mount up onto our horse. We're going to go to the north. Or to the west, rather. We're going to look for some veil flies. Here's a veil fly pest. And let's use our skills to get us to kill this thing as fast as we can. Alright. So, we're going to build up our fervor first. And then, once we've built up 4 fervor, smash him with number 6. Remorseless Strike. Killing him almost instantly. Alright, so let's keep finding some veil flies. We've got to find 5 more. Let's use Champion's Challenge to get this guy's attention. Let's use some Wild Attack and Swift Strike to build up our fervor. Also Devastating Strike, and then Remorseless Strike to finish him off. Very nice. It's got a bit of a bleed on us, but that doesn't matter. Alright, let's get 2 at once. How about that? 2 at once. Alright. Devastating Strike, Blade Wall, and finish that guy. I've got a critical hit. Very nice. Alright, let's just use Savage Strikes. We're doing not very much damage at all because we're still using our starting dagger, which is only going to do a very small amount of damage. For some reason, still can't use this great sword. I'm very surprised by this. Maybe we'll have to find ourselves another sword and use that in the time being. Alright, 2 more Veil Fly Pests. Quickly finish them off. Alright, we need 1 more. Oh, this guy's still not dead. So little damage with our little dagger. Okay, I see the last one in the distance. There he is. Champion's Challenge, get his attention. And quest completion, very good. Okay, let's mount up and let's ride off to our next location, which is going to be Nen Hilith. Little grove just inside these cliffs here. Here we are, Nen Hilith. There's some people just down the road. Once we get there, guys, that's going to be all for this episode. Remember, if you like what you're seeing on this channel, please subscribe to see more videos each day. If you like the video, please leave a like, and please leave all your comments down below with any suggestions or criticism or anything like that. Happy to hear from you in any way. So, that's going to be all for today. We're going to hand these quests in next time. For now, this is Nauglir signing off.